Hey everybody, for the True Review crew, I decided to pick my favorite universe of television shows, Doctor Who. Doctor Who is currently played by David Tennant, one of 10 mainstream actors who have mainly played the role. Of course, there's been other little actors here and there throughout time and space, which is really rather interesting because the character of the Doctor is an alien who can regenerate into different actors, well, different personas of himself as he travels through time and space. This is a show that's been around since 1964, which is kind of cool that it can keep on going, and they found a unique little alien trick to do it. This guy's coming later. We'll talk about him more, or not. My name is Phil Stamper. So why am I picking this gorgeous young lady to appear on the television screen? Well, that's right. This is Liz Sladen. She plays she plays a character known as Sarah Jane Smith. Sarah Jane Smith had a role in the 70s and 80s in Doctor Who as a companion to the Doctor. She traveled with him through time and space and had all sorts of adventures here on Earth and abroad. That is John Pertwee, who played the third Doctor, and then the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker. She appeared with both. Well, then later, in the reincarnation of Doctor Who, when it was brought about a few years ago, she, fought alongside the Doctor in a special episode. Well, now she has her own spin-off called the Sarah Jane Adventures. And what does this have to do with the larger scope of the Doctor Who universe? Well, 2 weeks ago, they had an episode called The Wedding of The Wedding of Doctor Who. The Wedding of Sarah Jane. Now, the interesting piece to this is Sarah Jane, of course, is now a spin-off of Doctor Who. Doctor Who has this big old universe, created 2 spin-offs, Torchwood and Sarah Jane, and it's really been able to hold its own. And in this episode, the Doctor appears not just as like a special guest cameo kind of thing, but actually like a regular part of the show. And it turned out to be, well, kind of cool. But the interesting thing is, when Sarah Jane Adventures was created, it was created for a children audience, and they said their target age was 6. And then in season 2, they're like, well, all right, our audience is aged a year. They're 7 years old. They can take deeper stuff. Well, now their audience must be 18. Because this season has gotten a little intricate and dark, and like there was a carnival of horrors and an alien that was maybe a demon but wasn't a demon, but was making everybody like hypnotized and like grinning like, and it was like a little freaky. Well, now the Doctor appears, and the only way, by the spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, the Doctor appears on Sarah Jane and ends up killing off this guy. Well, he doesn't really kill him off. This guy was an agent of the guy trying to trick Sarah Jane, well, called the Trickster, who has the ability to suck life energy from you by the things that you don't do. So he can go back in time, erase you from the timeline, and now he can get the residual energy from you off the things that you would have done, off the timelines that weren't created, by that temporal energy now coming to him. Something along those lines. It's wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey kind of stuff. This guy actually ends up being an agent of the Trickster, but then in the end goes, you know what, I really love her, and then sacrifices himself and dies on the behalf of his beloved, who in his last words is, I love you, Sarah Jane Dalton. And she's still Sarah Jane Smith. And in the next episode, they didn't even acknowledge that this even happened anymore. They did acknowledge this, which was kind of cool. They took like 3 episodes to like build up, the Doctor was coming. The Doctor was coming. So what does this have to do with the larger Doctor Who universe? And here we see Doctor Who with some of the kids. Like I said, children are helping out Sarah Jane. It's a children's show. Let's all get involved in the fun. So what does this have to do with the larger Doctor Who universe? Well, and not this Doctor Who. Not yet. This Doctor Who. That's right. So what does this have to do with the Doctor Who universe? Well, like I said, the wedding of Sarah Jane Smith that happened, it was kind of a cool episode. But what's coming is this weekend, The Waters of Mars. And it's all kind of counting down to the end of David Tennant's role as the Doctor. And in the end of the Sarah Jane Adventures, there was this kind of whole alluding to the end of David Tennant's reign as the Doctor. Will I see you again? Oh, you know what? I really don't know, but I hope so. And, it's kind of like he realized it, but she didn't pick up really what he was saying. I think she's kind of like, well, I've seen the Doctor. I'll see him again. I don't think she realizes that it may not be like this again, even though there's kind of special little spoiler pics that are out there that you can find that, she does kind of see him again. Not yet! Doctor Who had a couple special episodes this past year, and then an Easter special called The Planet of the Dead. And in that episode, towards the end, the Doctor finds out that his song is ending, which is an echo from an earlier episode where an Ood tells him, the song of the Dr. Donna, your song is coming to an end, and, I think he thinks it's about Donna, and may not be, and she starts rambling off this psychic babble about, oh, be careful, Doctor, because your song is ending, sir. Oh, but then, he will knock 4 times and then walks away ominously, and the Doctor's left like, huh, I don't, huh? But so what's going to happen? And according to showrunner Russell Davies, he says, this is the last time the Doctor was going to have fun because the next episode's going to be dark, a little bit more mysterious. So in the waters of Mars, now look at this alien! Oh my friggin' gracious, like, and apparently it's a zombie who shoots water. Who knew? Where's that character in Left 4 Dead? Maybe in Left 4 Dead 2 or 3? The Doctor appears in Waters of Mars, which is all going to count down to the end of his era of David Tennant, because then there's going to be a lot of alluding to things in his own past. This was, of course, from The Runaway Bride, a Christmas special a few years ago, featuring Catherine Tate, who played the companion known as Donna Noble, who appeared as his regular companion, and apparently this episode was very kind of pivotal in the understanding of time and space, and how the Doctor can't really fix all things because there's certain things in time that have to occur in order for time to progress. Well, apparently it all links to this happening at the end of The Waters of Mars. That's Ood Sigma, who actually told the Doctor, your song is ending. Then you have this coming. John Sim, who played the Master, who's supposed to be dead, even though his ring fell off, and then the Ring of the Ronnie, or whatever that was. David Tennant, and then Timothy Dalton, apparently playing a Time Lord or something, or somewhat, or yes. And then this will happen, the very true end of time, as Matt Smith takes over the role of David Tennant as the Doctor. Like I said, the Doctor is an alien. He can kind of change his appearance and change everything, and even his clothes, and will appear in a whole new persona. And Matt Smith will take over the role from David Tennant as the Doctor. And now I really can't say too much. I really have not seen too much of his stuff. And I think BBC is hoping, well, we can bring in this actor and he'll be like a David Tennant, who everybody thought would fail and was phenomenally great, and we couldn't do the show without him, and now we have to prove to everybody that we can do it again. We can strike gold twice. Will it happen? I don't know. Maybe they should have cast this guy as Doctor Who. That's right, that's me. Say hi, everybody. For the True Review crew, my name has been Phil Stamper. You have a good one.